Good morning, afternoon or evening, wherever you are in the world of UD trucks and JVs. As you all know by now, I'm BG and I'm here to present another episode in the 5-minute series. Welcome to this episode with additional tips and tricks on driver development. Up until now, we have released 11 episodes which have attracted a lot of attention. We will now, based on your feedback, present you with a new, faster paced format. So please keep sending your comments and suggestions to our email, and we'll make sure that the future episode is dedicated to the things that you want to see. So, without further ado, let's get into axle locks and their usage. Axle locks for UD trucks are available in two types: inter-axle lock and the cross-axle lock, which is also typically called the Diff lock. So, let's get into it, shall we? Driving any vehicle on a road, you all know that the wheels on the outside of the curve will have to travel a longer distance than the wheel on the inside of the curve. This is shown in this picture, where we can see that the outer wheel travels a longer distance than the inner wheels. To make this difference in rotation possible, the differential was created. If not, the axles would snap. Now, during slippery conditions, this function may cause a wheel with low friction to spin, whilst the other wheel with higher friction remains motionless. To solve this issue, the differential lock was developed. This one locks the two halves of the drive axle together, so the force is distributed evenly to both wheels on left and right side. Here we see wheel A on a stable surface with good friction is stationary. Wheel B, on the other hand, on the slippery surface is spinning, but the vehicle doesn't move. Now the driver pushes down the clutch and engages the diff lock. After engaging the diff lock, the driver releases the clutch, and since the two axles are now connected, the torque is evenly distributed to both wheels and the truck can get unstuck. This is the principle of the diff lock, also known as the cross-axle lock. I will now explain the inter-axle lock, which is most common in 6x4 or 8x4 trucks. A UD truck with two drive axles can be equipped with two types of axle locks for tandem axles: an inter-axle lock between the two drive axles, or an inter-axle lock in combination with the two differential locks, diff locks. The second version is most common in the combination with hub reduction axles. In this illustration, the truck is stuck with wheel B spinning and the remaining wheels stationary. The driver again pushed down the clutch and engaged the inter-axle lock. When the clutch is released, with the inter-axle lock engaged, the torque is distributed to all the wheels equally and the truck is unstuck and moves forward. At this point, the truck again got stuck, even though the inter-axle lock is engaged, since now wheels A and D are spinning and wheels B and C are stationary. Again, the driver must push down the clutch before engaging stage 2 on the switch to engage both cross-axle locks. With all axle locks engaged, the wheels receive the same torque and now the truck can get unstuck again. It is important to remember that in this configuration the truck may not be driven through bends or turns. Once the truck is out of the slippery section, it is time to disengage the diff locks and the inter-axle lock. To do this, the dashboard switch must be reset to its original position. Once this is done, the driver must check the indicator lights on the dashboard, since the lock remain engaged until the lights go out. Should the light for the diff locks remain on, it indicates that tension has built up in the transmission and the driver needs to turn the steering wheel slightly to the left and right whilst driving slowly. This will typically release the tension built up in the diff locks. It's important to remember the following points. Always push down the clutch before engaging the diff locks. Never engage any of the axle locks if a wheel is spinning. Do not drive faster than 45 km/h with the inter-axle lock engaged. Do not drive faster than 15 kilometers per hour with the cross-axle locks engaged. Disengage all axle locks as soon as the slippery section is passed. Check the indicator lights to make sure the axle locks have disengaged. Well, this brings us to the end of this module, and I hope it has brought you some new insights. Do use this material in your training and share it with our valued UD customers. For any questions or comments, please send them to our email as shown in this slide. And until we meet again, have a good one.